Hi. So it's been 12 days, which I know because I went back and looked at the day that I posted my last video because I couldn't remember. My rocks actually finished their initial tumble on Friday, and I took a look and I decided to give them a couple more days. So I gave them 3 more days, which they actually finished yesterday. So they tumbled for 11 days, I think. But I didn't get a chance to look at them last night. So I actually just came down and rinsed them today. So let's take a look and see how they look. So this is fresh out of the strainer. They're still wet. Obviously, I just dumped them out. Um, but overall, I'm really happy. Like once they dry off completely, here, let me dry one off and show you. They're still not like glossy, but they are definitely shiny, far more so than they have been any other time. So let me separate all these out from the ceramic bits and we can take a look at each one of them individually. Okay, so here's what we've got. I think they look a lot more impressive than I was expecting. They are still partially wet, which is why some of them are quite shiny. I need to figure out how to get them to actually stay that shiny. But as far as polish, I mean, I think they look great. So let's take a look. We've got a lot of our red ones here. Some of these are just little small fragments, which I don't know if that's just that they just wore away a lot in those other rounds. This was the one with the black and the white freckle bits. This is my cool one. I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. And again, like if I dry it off. Ooh. It's more polished than it was. Or getting a reflection. I mean, that's definitely progress. I mean, it's not going to look like glass or anything, but really pleased with how this one turned out. I think it looks really cool. Not sure what's going on there. Ooh. Some of these in the process revealed some little bits and fissures and stuff that I was not expecting. This was one of those river rocks that I had from outside that I just put in there thinking maybe I could make it shinier. Again, I need to figure out how to make things glossy. This one came out quite nice. Now, again, like on this one, that's not wet. That's how shiny that is. Like, I wish they all looked like that. Okay, that side is wet. This side is not. It's just that shiny. Like, got another little guy there. This cool yellowish deuter that all them little pieces broke off of. This one here with the sparkles. Needs some more shine. This one, this really sparkly one. There you go, there's the sparkles. This little guy got pretty shiny. Got some more. Here's my teardrop shaped one. Again, I wonder if it's just the type of rock. Like, do some of them just need longer? Did I not use enough polish compound? Because like some of these look great and some of them are still dull and I don't understand. That ended up being a cool shape. This is one of my favorites. This one also, I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I would love to go back, take these back to my original photo that I took, some of my photos that I took. Oh, that's interesting. When I came back from my hike and tried to pick out which ones of these individual rocks they are and what they looked like originally. Again, this is my Tiger Eye, is still not glossy. I just don't know what to do. This big bad boy here that's now gone through 2 whole cycles. And this one here. All of these peach ones came out really nice and shiny and glossy. And then I have my little bits, which I think are just going to stay in with this stuff for tumbling purposes. Yeah, so that's where we're at with those. So now the question becomes, where do I go from here? Do I try the ivory soap to see if the dullness on some of these comes off? Do I put all of these back in with some more finishing polish and run them longer? I mean, it's not going to make them smaller because it's just polish. So even the ones that are already shiny, I don't see how it could hurt them. It's just going to make them more shiny. And then the ones that aren't shiny, maybe will get shiny. I mean, I don't see what it could hurt to just keep them going. I see other people doing this that let things run for like 20 days, 30 days. The other question that I have too is that I watch a lot of different rock tumbling people on TikTok, and it seems like when they're dumping out their tumblers, their liquid, their stuff, like the slip or whatever that's in there, the water mixed with the whatever that they dump out, is always really, seems like foamy. Like, seems like, I don't know, like there's a higher, like they're using way more grit and less water than I am. Maybe I'm using too much water and not enough grit. Like their stuff seems a lot thicker and foamier when they dump it out than mine. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm not using enough stuff. So I guess I'll go ahead and post this and I'll see what people think. And in the meantime, I will try to run this batch again with the final polish stuff. I dumped out the water that was in there already. So I'll put them back in and put in more polish compound. And maybe I've been putting in too much water. Like I fill up the stuff and I only put in the water to the level of the rocks, which is what it says, like just to where it just covers the rocks. And that's all I'm doing. So maybe I'm just not using enough polish compound. I don't know. But, so I guess that's what I'm going to do. And then in the meantime, and I'll let it run for another week. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I don't think it can. And then in the meantime, I will either get some borax or try to do something with this ivory soap. I know I keep mentioning it and I haven't done anything with it. I'm lazy. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll get some of that ready. And then after I run these for another week, if they still seem like they're foggy or have like a film on them or whatever from the polish stuff, then I'll try to run it with the ivory soap and see if it cleans them. But I mean, like some of these, this looks awesome. It's like super glossy and shiny. But maybe that's just the type of rock it is. I mean, like this one doesn't need to go back in. It's good. She good. And like, I mean, now I'm starting to think that that's like the only one that doesn't need to go back in. Because all the rest of them, like this one, other than having like this fogginess on there, but I don't know if that's in the rock, it's super shiny. Like it looks good. I don't think it needs to go back in. I mean, I guess if we're going off of glossiness and shininess, probably most of the rest of these need to go back in because they're not shiny. Or like this one there. It's great. It looks great. I don't think it needs to go back in. It's good. So that one can stay out. 3 of them. 3. going? I would say all the rest, well, okay, like this. This is a perfect example. This side of this one, I'm sure you can't see it because I'm on here. This side of this one is all glossy and shiny, the white side. The back side of it is dull still. So is that just because this is a different kind of rock on this face of it than this is? Because it's got different kinds of rock in there. I think maybe that's what it is. As Yul Brynner would say, is a puzzlement. All right, so that's my decision, is that these three oh shit, I need a blooper reel on this one. These three are staying out because they're good, they're shiny, they look great. The rest of them I'm going to put back in with another round of water, more polished compound, let them run for another week, see what happens. So yeah. Oh hey, also, while I got you here, I wanted to show you a cool rock I found. It's this one here. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's all sparkly, and it's got a white vein going through it, but it's black and white, and it's very sparkly. I found this while I was sitting in the drive-thru at Taco Bell. I was waiting to pull up to the window to pay for my Taco Bell, and I looked at the rocks out the window in their like gravel bed around the drive-thru speaker, and I saw this rock. I went, ooh. And I put the car in park, and I opened my door, and I got out of my car, and I picked up this rock. So that's where I'm at in my life. Taco Bell rock.